Hey everyone. Okay, so if you are watching live, I am sorry I am so late this morning, but I have new system set up, and of course there's always hiccups at the beginning of that, so you know, hiccup city. But rest assured that the project I have to share with you is absolutely fantastic, and there's so many tips in it for different kinds of parts of your stamping. You are going to love every second of this. So we are using a bundle that just arrived because of course I got it with the 10% off. It's Inspiring Snapdragons, and you might have overlooked this one in the new book that debuted this summer. With the June special, it's 10% off for the bundle as always, and a bonus 10% for that, which means this is a really great time to pick this up. It has a set of dies. I'll show you some of them here that coordinate. It makes a beautiful, beautiful double layered die cut images, but we are not going to do the double layer. We're gonna do a single layer because I have a fantastic technique with blending brushes that you hopefully have seen before, but if you haven't, this is a total game changer for making gorgeous ombre colored images with your stamp sets. So if you have ever thought like, oh, I want to stamp this solid looking image, there's a reason that there are 3 of these on one block. I will show you this trick too. But you thought, oh, I want this to be kind of multicolored, but it's all one image. Today's the day you're going to figure out how to do that beautifully. And then finally, we are casing, of course, page 22. You know you love it here with all of those different card ideas. So, with that, we are finally here. Hi, Joan. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Sorry it was so late to start this morning, but all right, let's go ahead and switch our camera. Hopefully this will work. Who knows with this new setup. Oh, look, there's our camera. Huh. Okay, we can see this. So you'll notice I have my grid paper out because we are going to need that with our technique this morning. You could also use the glass mat, is a great surface for doing this. Hey, Carol. Hey, Tanya. The glass mat is a great surface for doing this kind of technique. You just need something where you're gonna brush off a bunch of extra color. And our colors for today are straight out of the new in colors, the 2026. So we're going to use a number of things. Sneak peek, there will be bling. So, all right. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm quite excited about our card this morning. All right, so first things first, there are 3 fabulous Snapdragons in this stamp set, but I am only going to use 2 on our card. I'm going to stamp and die cut all 3 though, because this is a really efficient way to stamp, and you're going to love how quickly they come together, plus the chance to, have extras to use for other things. So I'm going to start off here with my peach pie stamp or peach pie ink pad. I'm going to go ahead and ink all 3 images. Okay, so they're all mounted here on one larger block. Doesn't really matter what large size you use as long as they all fit and they're all supported around the edge. Now, this is a very inky pad. Hey, Becky. Hey, Margie. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this off because I don't want so much ink on there. Okay, so I've stamped off once, and now I'm going to remove a little more ink. And the way I'm going to do this is with a blending brush. So I want to have a nice green at the bottom for our leaves. So I'm actually going to tap on here, and you can see that I am picking up color from the bottom of the stamp and just wiping it off onto my scrap paper. Okay, so you can't see that, but you can see here that ink came off of the stamp. Okay. So now when I go to add my next color, which is going to be Petunia Pop, and you could do Fresh Freezer for this, but Petunia Pop has a little more oomph to it. Plus it's going to match our designer series paper here from the Unbounded Beauty suite. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up ink from Petunia Pop. So this is a swirl on my pad, and then I'm going to tap here on my stamp. Now what it's doing is it's applying a little bit of ink there on the side. Now I want to go back and pick up more ink, but I don't want to transfer a bunch of the peach pie into my Petunia Pop. So I'm going to run it out on my scrap paper. You can see how much of that peach pie came off on there, quite a bit, okay? So I'm gonna do here. I've got them positioned so that they kind of are nice next to each other. I can do both images at the same time. I didn't really like plan that, but it happened, so. All right, and then I'm gonna finish this. So each time I'm picking up a little peach pie ink. I do not want on my pad, so I'm gonna brush it off onto my scrap paper, okay? And you can add as much purple as you like. Now, the last thing I'm gonna do is bring in Summer Splash, which is another one of these in colors. Hi, Trish. Have you guys ever used blending brushes this way? Have you done them on your ink pads? I think when blending brushes first came out, I was a big fan of this, so I did a bunch, but that was a long time ago, so I don't remember. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet, but just wait till you see the finished images. They're gorgeous. Summer Splash, and I'm going to add some green here to the bottom of each of these for our leaves. Okay, there we go, okay? All right, so now we have our multi-inked stamp there. I'm gonna get some of these out of the way. We're gonna bring in a piece of basic white. It's generously sized, and go ahead and stamp. You ready for the reveal? Oh, hey Cindy, good morning, or evening, I guess, in Tokyo. Hi, Debbie. Here they are. Look at those colors. Aren't they fantastic? So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna want like one, I think, butterfly there. This is a dragonfly, not a butterfly. And so now we have these to cut out. Now I'm only gonna use 2, which means I have an extra to use for another project. Now here is the next best tip. Okay, so once you've mounted these, don't take them off, okay? You're gonna wanna clean them before you go on to the next. But what you can do is you can line up your dies and then connect all the dies with washi tape and then press them down. Now, the reason they're set like this is because I've already done this a number of times, so I have a bunch cut out already. And the first time I did it, I just washi taped them down. This conformation, this arrangement isn't changing, so this doesn't have to change either. Oh, Becky's excited already. Yeah, and Joan says she loves snapdragons. They are one of my very, very favorite flowers. I think because as a kid, I loved that they were interactive. My mom always planted snapdragons in our garden. And actually here in Illinois, sometimes they are not really perennials, but they're biennials? They come up 2 years in a row if you have them planted someplace nicely, like near the house or something. Now, sometimes if the washi tape shifts a little, you might have to rearrange, but you are still ahead of the game here as far as getting them pretty close to ready. Although this one is defeating me. There we go. Okay, you see how relatively simple that was to just lay all 3 of those down. I have my snapdragon, I'm so confused. Dragonfly there. And now I'm going to run these through my die cut machine. So hold on, you can join me at my die cutting here. The die cut machines are also a bonus 10% in June. So if you don't have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you've been thinking like, am I really going to use it? The answer is yes. I hardly ever stamp without it. And of course, remember, you can use them for your folders too. And there's 2 sizes. There's the large. If you haven't seen this for a while, I'll show you both of them. This is the mini. Okay. And I think you are obligated to name your mini because they're so cute and everything should have a name. I can't remember what my name was. If anybody remembers, put it in the comments. I should like emboss it on here or make a label or something. And then of course you have the big one. So here is the kind of the size difference between those 2. This is the one that's going to fit your full size folders. This one's going to fit the smaller folders and smaller dies. So, but it's just so lightweight and easy to take places. I just talked to a stamper who was just getting one like yesterday because she just finds it so convenient to take with her. All right, so let's, you could even pack that thing to take it to Tokyo, I bet. Just saying. All right, so here are our die cuts, and ta-da! They pop out super easily, and I'm going to go ahead and pop off my washi tape now because I want this to, I don't want it to get too tight to my cardstock. I want to be able to use it to cut a next batch later. So I just take this and pop it in on the side here. Now, this, once you move your stamps on the block, of course, you'd have to rearrange your little matrix of die cuts. But look at how gorgeous these are. And of course, like here's some other sets that I made this morning or earlier, because when you are making like a ton of these, like, I mean, they, you know, you can make as many as you want. They go really quickly. So this is a really great technique for making the most of something. So here's two here, and I'm gonna pull this off. And we're going to put our card together. So like I said, page 22 in the book. Oh, Debbie just ordered this morning, yes. And Linda says she ordered both the boho blue. Yay! Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Little hands. Linda said she got the mini because her grands can then stamp along with her, and that's totally true. It's a little bit easier to twist, and so you might find that is a good solution. So yay! Okay, and Lisa said, do you have some kind of mat for the big? Oh yes. So this is like super not techy, but it tends to move around a little bit, and so this is not very clean. I just ordered a placemat. You could get it from a big box store or whatever. It's a silicone placemat from online retailer or something like that, and it sticks pretty nicely to my countertop and then keeps this from twisting quite so much. If I put just a tiny bit of pressure on it, it stays in place. So I know you're all running to Amazon now to order your silicone placemats. The best part was I had my friend Lindsay, actually, who I do the Maker Club with. She was visiting when I got that, and so it was a set of two, and she took one home with her. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Maker Club, I'm excited. Our June Maker Club is in a couple days here, and you could join us for July. We have an awfully good time together. We just recorded a little video yesterday, so if you're in the Maker Club, make sure you go check that out so you don't miss that in-between video where we did our drawing and all that kind of stuff. So I actually shared something similar with the Snapdragons yesterday there. All right, so 3 strips here. And this is the card that we are casing from Focus, page 22 in the book. This is the book with picnic on the front that just came out this summer, May actually. And so we're got our 3 strips set up, and now we are going to do our layering. So really simple. We're going to add our Snapdragons here. We're going to add our dragonfly, which I forgot on my original card, but let's actually talk a little bit about our greeting. So I wanted to do this inspired by you and have it run across here. And so let's go ahead and stamp that, and then we'll talk about the issue I had with it. So I've got Petunia Pop here, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on here. All right. So here's the issue. This is covering up so much of our card. It's just too chunky to go along with our match here, or to match our card feel here. So I'm going to trim this off, okay? And now I'm going to bring in the best trimmer ever, because it's going to let me just trim this down. Now, how do I do this? What am I looking at when I trim here? I am looking at the edge of my paper and the ruler line on my mat to make sure that this is straight. And then when I close it, I'm looking in the middle of this track to see what's going to get cut off. I had to move it because it was cutting off the top of the eye the first time. And now, same thing, I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to make sure that this is straight here. And for a long, narrow piece like this, you just want it to be straight. And then I'm going to cut that across there. And now we have a piece that is in much better scale and doesn't cover up so much of our gorgeous flowers, okay? Now, when I was looking at this, yes, bling is coming, but I felt like it needed something else. So I was flipping through, and right here on the top of page 22, I was like, wait a minute, that would be a nice addition. So let's grab our Baker's Twine Trio. Here they are. And I'm going to pull out this one. So this is really Flirty Flamingo, but it's really pretty close here. And it definitely falls in the sort of bright pastel color family that we're using on our card. So I really love those swirly, circly pieces where the string is. You guys seen that before, the string behind there. And so I'm going to show you my tip for making that, because it's sometimes hard to kind of get it all in place. So I'm gonna start here on the back of my strip, and I'm going to put a length of Seal Plus. So this is the heavy duty stuff. And, oh, Becky said vellum would look nice. I thought the same thing, Becky. So we're going to add some adhesive to the back there, and then I'm gonna go ahead, take 3 fingers, and just wrap this around 3 or 4 times, and I'm pinching the end here with my thumb. So now I have my loops, and I'm gonna go ahead and snip this off, okay? Now, we have to transfer this onto our paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one point to just kind of make sure everything's anchored. I'm gonna smush this all down, okay, kind of over here, because I want the focal point to be around here where our snapdragons are layered. And then on the back side, I'm just gonna kind of move these loops around, up and down, stretch them out, try not to bunch them up too much, and just sort of tease that out, and then press it into the adhesive, okay? See how that works? So now from the front side, we have this fun little string piece. And now I want to pop these up. I don't want it to stick with this adhesive. So in order to keep that from pressing down in different places, I'm gonna go ahead and add a strip of Stampin' Dimensionals across here. Ta-da! So that now our piece is going to be nicely raised, okay? All right, so let's come back here. I'm gonna show you, okay, this is bugging me a little. Oh, see how I'm a little tiny bit off with my die cut there? If I do that, I just take my paper snips a lot of times and I cut away some of that extra halo. Remember, keep your stips straight and just turn as you're going. And just like eliminating that like top, well now it's pointy, let's get rid of that. Just eliminating that top piece there is gonna make this much less like obvious that it was a tiny bit off. So, all right, let's go ahead and pop our pieces on here, okay, with these gorgeous elements. And now I'm going to peel off the backing from our fancy label and press this across here, okay. All right, now we need to attach our dragonfly. I keep almost calling it the wrong kind of thing, but it is a dragonfly. Goes well with the snapdragons, right? Probably not a coincidence that the artists chose to put that in there. All right, and then I'm gonna pop this here so it's kind of flying down. And now we need some bling. Lisa, oh, I'm glad you like the tip for the baker's twine. So this is from half a package of the 2026 gems. And the link in the video description includes all the supplies for today's card. So if you're looking for supplies for things, you can use that link and shop with me, which I always appreciate. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna pull out my take your pick tool, which I guess I didn't put in the link. And I'm gonna add some jewels. Let's go with some purples here. And I'm gonna pop one down here. And I like to pair the big and the small, kind of that, I don't know, if you've watched my videos before, you know I always put those two together like that. And then let's put one small up here. I don't wanna weight it too heavily, so I'm gonna pop it up right there, okay? So now we've got our jewel triangle, okay, which kind of creates a focal point here with our string and our greeting and our message. Everything is very much weighted right here as the focal point for this card, so. Neat, right? And of course, because you have that fantastic trick for all of your snapdragons here, you're gonna cut a whole bunch at once and then you can use them for all different things. Actually, do you guys wanna see another card? I didn't prep the second card, so I haven't, like, it'll be like, I used to have a series, or I guess I still do, I should bring it back, called Reality Crafting. And it's basically where we design a card together and it comes together. Like I haven't planned it really ahead in detail. So let's do a reality crafting spread based on this. So I have another piece of the summer splash here. And let's look at which one we're doing. We're gonna go with this right here from page 22 with all these circles, because when I pulled out my Unbounded Beauty, yes, designer series paper, I had all these circles in there and I was like, oh, I need to just use some of those. How perfect that they're already cut for me. So here's 3 circles. And I thought, like, this could certainly, I don't want that purple to be too strong, so I'm gonna tuck it in the back. Did you see how big a difference that made? So here's purple in front, and it's like look, Petunia Pop is the color of this card. And then you tuck it behind and it's like, oh, yes. And also a little Petunia Pop, but all the other colors are much more balanced. So it matters there. Oh, Joan calls it on the fly cards. Yeah, I like that too. So let's see, reality crafting on the fly cards. Let's see. Now I think the layout here had a strip in the background like this, but I feel like we have a lot. Can we get a little closer? I don't know. My camera doesn't like to focus that close. I feel like we have a lot going on, so I don't know about a total strip. Why don't we actually make a strip of coordinating cardstock? So color on color, which is a great design element. It adds something to the card, but it doesn't like take away from the action that's going on otherwise. And so I'm going to go ahead and layer this behind here. Now this would actually be kind of pretty embossed or stamped or something like that. So let's see what I've got here for handy folders. Oh, how about this one? The distressed tile folder would be pretty. Okay, well, come with me and we will put these together. I like distressed tile with this because it's kind of a similar, like a little bit fussy, but not too fussy. And we're gonna go ahead and die cut, or use this with our Stampin' Cut Boss. Remember with 3D folders, you're using just plate number 1, then your folder and cardstock, and plate number 4. Hello, my back. And when we pull this back here, we have our embossed cardstock. There we go. So now it has that fun distressed tile element to it. And I'm gonna pop this back. I don't know about you guys, but I always store my embossed folders with the paper that they came with. Just so that makes it really easy to like try and figure out what they are. And there, that's pretty. Okay, so now we have this here. And now we have a couple of Snapdragons here to pop on. Let's see. I need 2 different ones. These are kind of 2 of the smallers. Those are pretty. And let's see, a different greeting maybe, inspired by you. We could be inspired again. Let's see if this scrap here is big enough for this piece. Maybe I'll be smarter and stamp it at the bottom this time. No, not really, but that's okay. All right, let's see. Now, this time, I stamped it a little bit crooked. So when I'm looking at my trimming here, I'm going to line up my stamped image with the lanes in the ruler so that it will then let me kind of straighten this out. Now, it needed a teeny bit more than that. Let's start at this end. The blade likes to bite best when it has a little bit to start on. It doesn't like to start on a super fragment. What am I doing here? I'm like trying to kill my trimmer. Okay, let's try this one more time. Inspired by you. Okay, we're living dangerously, stamping on our trimmer. There we go. Oh, this one doesn't really need trimmed anyway. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and cut an end on that. And now I think I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to pop it down at the bottom, but I don't want it to be at the bottom. So I'm going to bump one of these circles down below it. Does that make sense? So that it's part of our whole image here. And I don't want a ton of petunia because it's so powerful as a color. So that I'm kind of happy with that. All right, let's go ahead and put this together so we can have it be sticking around. What do you guys think? Oh, good question. What about cutting around the words to show more of the flowers? Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, 2 people said fussy cut the saying. Okay, we could try that. Let's see. I'm also not going to center this element. I'm going to put it towards the right side. And let's see. I guess before I do that, we'll leave this one. I'll fussy cut the one that I messed up. All right, so remember when you're fussy cutting your scissors, don't ever move. They stay straight and you are going to turn the paper with your free hand, which in this case is my left. And doing just a little bit of sort of waggling here as we go, but keeping the scissors straight helps you get a nice even edge, a nice smooth cut there around the edges. The last little bit's the trickiest. Oh, I kind of like this. Okay, let's bring our pieces back in here. We're gonna drag this peach one down here and, oh, very nice. Good idea. All right, this is why we stamp together. So I'm gonna pinch these in one hand, and then I'm going to just take this whole strip of dimensional edging here and pop this across everything. Oops, stuck to my fingernail. Pop this across everything. So now our pieces are all stuck down, and we'll add one more there. They're arranged the way we like them, just from looking at the front of our card, and I'm gonna pop that across there. Okay, so now we have our two flowers. I feel like maybe, let's see. There we go. Do we like that, or do we like them to, oh, I kind of like that. We like them to arc away from each other. Oh, this is coming together nicely. Okay, remember, this is our inspiration. Uh-oh, I feel like, should we add the string to this one too? Let's see, Margie said she uses cardstock to make a pattern of the embossing folder. Oh, that's a really good idea. And then place a layer of it. So basically you're making like a little a pattern library of the folders that you have. That's a great idea. All right, so let's bring this in. Oh yay, Joan likes this one. Let's see, I think here, I'm gonna down here to the bottom to connect this to the background so it's not like just stuck down. By overlapping here, we're connecting these layers together visually. And here is our strip greeting, which I agree, not the greatest. This one is so much prettier. Okay, but what did you guys think? Should we add some string to it? I think we should. It'll be quick. All right, so 3 fingers, wrap it around a few times. Oh, those loops are kind of tight. Let's see, we're gonna bring in our, okay, we're gonna bring in our Seal Plus because it is the strongest for doing this kind of thing. Actually, it's a little too wide. How about we do tear tape instead? All right, I love having everything organized at my fingertips, adhesive-wise. I just keep those right in the drawer right next to me where I'm working so that I always have them ready. Now where we are overlapping, I'm gonna kind of pop this back with my fingernail where the adhesive is just sticking out just a little. And then we're gonna basically do the same thing, pick one point to anchor it, and then move the rest of these around sort of artistically. There we go. I don't always love that free end to be so present, so let's get rid of that. And now we have our, oh, I kind of like this because it brings out the circle aspect, right? We just added a circle here. So I'm going to, maybe I won't pop up our greeting on this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it flat. So there, we're going to center on our florals and stick that down. And that tear tape is plenty to hold it there. Oh, a double bow, that would have been pretty too. And then we need some elements here. So let's see, should we do pink this time? I think we're gonna do pink this time. So this is the Pretty in Pink color, and I'm gonna do the same formation here, same little shape. So 2 there, and then one more small one up here, kind of at the top. So, all right. So there we have our, what did you call it, Joan? I can't remember. Our card that we crafted together, our reality crafting card, or cards on the fly. So there's our card there, and then here's the inspiration from the original. And both of these are, of course, from page 22 here in the book. So our designs were our circle card here and our strippy card here. So lots of great ideas on there to check out and kind of give you some ideas when you're sitting down to stamp. And then, of course, remember our awesome technique with our blending brushes. It really is a nice way to add custom color and ombre color to the Snapdragons here. Just really kind of pretty cards. So, all right. Whew. That was a lot of stamping this morning, and hopefully the video was a little less freezy than it had been lately. So I don't know. I appreciate if you let me know if it was doing that pixelation thing while I was stamping the way it sometimes used to. But hopefully gotten my hardware problems figured out, and software will be back on schedule Thursday with our normal time. And as always, it was really nice to stamp with you. Thanks for joining me for Maker Mornings with Meg. And I can't wait to see what you guys create. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Thursday morning at 9:30 Central Time on Facebook and a little bit later on YouTube. So happy stamping, everyone.